Here we go. To the shiny faces of Los Feliz, California.
I don't think now I don't hear your microphone. So
really?
Yeah. I think you had it before.
Now I can hear me.
Really?
Maybe you weren't supposed to be hearing me and something.
Maybe not. I can hear myself.
Okay.
So that's fine. I don't know why I'm trying to fucking butt in.
No. That's weird because I can hear you well. You can't hear me now?
Nope.
Weird.
As long as that's normal.
That's not normal. Wow. It's 100 degrees in my apartment, if anyone was wondering. So I'm glad I wore a gray t-shirt.
Oh yeah. That's actually a really I dressed perfectly.
You
actually,
really
now I
did.
think about it. I'm known for dressing perfectly for all occasions.
You did well.
Believe it or not.
I'm not. I mean,
You live here though. You can, if anything, you can change if you want to. You can be like, be right back. And
I
I'm just
really
here.
could.
I'm just here looking at your squirrel painting.
Oh, do you like it?
I mean, do I like it? Yeah, it's more like what questions do I have rather than do I like it? I mean, it's a squirrel in a nice outfit above your bed, like he's protecting you. So I don't know if it's more like, what is it?
Yeah.
What's the explanation behind it?
So if it makes you feel better, I didn't pay for it.
Sure, I would have rather you paid for it, honestly, because then it's like, you just find it in the garbage. You're like, he's handsome. I'm gonna put it above my fucking bed.
It really would be more of an office painting, but
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Yeah, nothing inspires me like a squirrel from the 20s who has a fucking, what are those little pocket watches? I mean, he's a pocket watch.
Oh,
you have to put this up, by the way, so people know what we're talking about.
It will be up this
So we don't
whole
just think
time.
it's like a mushroom podcast, so we're just like, squirrel paintings. There's a blank wall.
There's a squirrel with a suit. They're like, they are fucked
There's
up.
no
They
squirrel.
are fucked up. So the story is
Please.
that a restaurant was closing and they were selling all this stuff, and they had kind of like a restaurant garage sale.
Okay, what are they selling? Just like knives and forks and spoons?
Just that and everything from all the walls. They were like
Wow.
completely going out of business.
Okay.
So they were just giving out food and drink for free to get people to come in and buy stuff.
Interesting.
And then by the end of the night, we got so drunk, we just grabbed some stuff.
And that was there.
And that's what I wanted. I was like, I just want this one.
Are you allowed to disclose what restaurant this was?
Yeah, it was Bear Burger.
Bear Burger.
It was in Santa Monica. They used to do shows.
Oh, okay.
So,
Do they have other animals on the walls?
yeah, all different animals.
All different animals in different outfits and stuff.
And I chose the squirrel.
And you chose the squirrel. Now, what are the other options?
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember, but I'm sure like meat, more like cows and bulls and stuff like that.
Squirrels, it's a good call though. I mean, it's a handsome squirrel. Like, it's fine. I just like how it's like the centerpiece of your room. I think that's really funny. I mean, you don't have a huge apartment. No, like, I don't know. No offense, I guess, if that would be offensive.
No.
But there's not a lot of options but the squirrel.
That's what I mean. Like, if maybe I had a big office, Squirrel Man would go in there.
Yeah, and this is also precious real estate because this is what's on camera. So if you just had the squirrel, it would be like, that's like your fucking dad was a squirrel who died or something. So I understand putting it where you put it, basically.
Yeah. If that was there for the podcast, no one would be paying attention
People would
to
be like,
us.
that's the most important, like, this is the whole point of the podcast. This will be called the Pocket Watch Squirrel Podcast at that point.
Yeah, you would definitely have to name it after that.
But instead, you have an old-timey phone that I actually really like.
Yeah, it might ring later. Who knows?
Oh, okay. You have to answer it like this. Hello? Hello?
They hang up. They're like, another one doesn't know how to use them. Idiot.
Are you the crazy girl who stole that squirrel painting? Give us a squirrel painting back.
Oh, wrong number. How did people used to talk like that and then it just merged?
I don't know. I'm going to bring it back.
You should.
I don't know why people used to talk like that, though. Because it was like, that's the classic like 20s, like, hey, what you doing there, dame?
Yeah.
I don't know. But then again, like, everyone in every era has talked differently, though. I'm sure people will look back to us in like the 40s, which hilarious to think of this as the 20s.
I know, it's kind of terrifying.
In like the 40s, they'll be like, remember when people used to talk like, damn, that's so sick, bro? Like, what a fucking idiot. You know,
Yeah, they
I
would
guarantee that's what
definitely
it's going to
think
be.
this is the low of humanity.
Exactly. Yeah, these idiots. Anyways, bye.
Oh,
Back into the metaverse.
Shit, we're screwed.
I know.
Hey, at least less pressure on us by talking like we talk.
Yeah, totally. Who cares? It's fine. Everything's going to be fine.
It's so good. And we're going to talk like this. And how about this? In the time where we all talk like idiots is when everyone's doing podcasts.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, you're right. Everything's going to be recorded forever. We have 10,000 different podcasts of us fucking talking stupid.
There's
Shit.
so much evidence. I forgot the statistic of it's something terrifying. I always say anytime I quote anything, it's definitely wrong.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it's something along the lines of only like 5% of history has been documented.
Oh,
Like
wow.
something insane like that.
Really?
It's like getting loose. Yeah.
I can fuck with it.
Which I guess
5% is documented?
maybe 15%. It was around those numbers.
A very low number.
Very
A very low
number.
number is documented. Wow. We
So-
missed so much.
But at least when they now, like you said, they'll have everyone's podcast
God.
to listen to.
And that's not a good thing either.
No, they're gonna be like, there's so many murders.
It's mostly murders and like stand-up, honestly.
Yeah,
like
murders and
murders and
stand-up.
stand-up. Fuck, that's the name of my first special.
That's
Murders
pretty
and
good.
stand-up.
I would watch that.
It's gotta be clickbaity. People
Yeah.
would be like, does someone get murdered? Maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows? Wait
They-
till I close her. It's crazy.
And they wouldn't know, like, because you'd have to do a joke about the doc. Do you have one
About what?
about murder documentaries?
I've tried to mess with the bits about how girls like love murder stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of people already have that idea, so I never really like
That's
fleshed
what
it
I was
out.
gonna say. Before I talk shit, I wanted to make sure you didn't have
I
one.
don't know.
Okay.
Why do you? Or
No.
are you saying it's like talk shit about what?
I was just gonna say that's like one of the hacky, but not hacky only because everyone does it.
Yep.
Jokes right
For sure.
now.
Yeah. I think that's probably why I never like, I think I wrote it down on my phone like a couple years ago, something to the effect of like, I feel like my girl could like murder me and get away with it because she like knows too much. She like knows how to like do everything, you know, and I would have, and no one had have any idea. But again, because I've heard that people make that joke so much, I've never been like, ooh, let me new angle. I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna focus on my squirrel jokes instead. It's more effective.
Wait, that's my thing.
Okay, that's my bad. Sorry, I forgot. You're the squirrel queen, obviously.
Yes, finally. I've been dying for someone to call me that. I'm curious on how long, like in my life, how many apartments and houses will this squirrel make it through?
Well, now it has to make it to all of them.
I hope so.
Essential. I mean, it's such a good conversation piece. It's great. But you're right. It is like an office, like above like a leather chair with like sometimes a nice bookcase. Yeah. I hope you really are able to put the picture of that up so people know.
I will.
Okay,
Don't
good,
worry. It'd be
good.
really uncomfortable for them to just
People are
worry
like, what
about
are
the
they
squirrel.
talking about? It's fucking squirrel painting.
Oh. So did you think of your wiener?
I think of my wiener all the time, actually. No, the question again was what? Was
So it's the
something annoying someone did.
yeah.
Got it.
I always use the example of the person who parks in two parking spots.
Sure.
Like it's a small thing that really bugs you.
Yeah. And what's funny about that question is that like I probably have like one of these a day,
Yeah.
but I don't remember them.
I know. I always tell myself I need to start writing them down since
Yeah.
I'm doing this.
Oh, you should for sure. Yeah.
But then I don't, but I will eventually.
Okay.
But today I was saying the same thing. I was like, what was it? Mine is very minute.
Do you want to do yours
Right
first
now.
or do you want me to go?
You can go.
Okay. I was thinking of mine like I took a flight back over the weekend, or no, I was gone last Thursday. I came back Friday, and I was in like the second row, and the front row was all I heard was someone.
Wait, was
like,
this first class or like?
Please, please. It's not first class. Please, fucking 30 F or whatever. No, I actually was Southwest, so it's just you check
Okay.
in early enough, you're kind of first class.
Okay.
So I was in like second, third row, and then I heard someone's like music playing or like a movie playing really loud.
Okay.
And I was like, well, this is crazy. Because it was where like everyone was like looking around doing the thing on the airplane where you're like, do you all hear that?
Yeah.
What is that? And it was a person in front of us who was just watching a thing on like full blast, like no headphones. And
Yeah.
it was like, you feel, it was like, maybe you feel that feeling when you're like, I'm gonna say something.
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
that sort of, you start to get kind of nervous, like because like confrontation is about to happen. You kind of like
100%.
start to kind of heat up, and like I'm like not good with conflict.
Me neither.
I'm like very avoidant of it. But it was a thing of like no one was doing anything, and I think I had enough coffee where I was like, I could be the guy, because there was at least 10 of us who could have was in range. It'd be weird if someone in the back of the plane was like, "Hey, you shut the fuck up! Like, you're not involved in this. Get back there, you C-51 bitch."
I'm in first class.
I'm in A30. That means I'm first class. And so I was like, I think I'm gonna be the guy.
Yeah.
And I'm never the guy to say something. We fantasize about it.
Yeah.
Like I fantasize like, oh man, if I said something, I'd be like this and like this. And they'd be like, so sorry, and they give me money. And I'm like, yeah, I should have said something.
Everyone cheers.
Yeah, the flight attendant's like, what a hero, But, and I decided I like stood up, and I realized it was in the row, like right in front. So it was so easy. So I literally stood up and was like, hey. And the person was like, hey. It was like a girl in like her 20s. She was like, oh, what? And I said, hey, do you have headphones? And she said, no. And I said, oh, well, it's really loud. And she says, oh, I'm sorry. And I said, yeah. And then I sat back down, and she lowered it. So we couldn't, it worked. Basically, Stonewall story, it worked, but it was so the obliviousness, if that's the right word, of the person to go, what do you, I didn't, yeah, it is loud. Like, it's so loud.
What?
Like,
I'm glad it was a girl in her 20s. That makes total sense.
I mean, not to, whatever.
I can say it.
You can say it. But it just was like so I couldn't, like, she was like, oh, I didn't even, how do you not even?
Like, if that was
so
me,
loud.
the whole time I would be like, I really want to watch this, but like, I should turn this off.
Yep. I'd be like, well, I can't.
Yeah.
I have to like either somehow subtitles. If it's an iPad, maybe I can subtitle it with the speaker thing. But yeah, it was just, I couldn't believe the how oblivious someone could be.
Yeah, that's messed up.
But I was also proud of myself for being the.
You did it.
I did it. I was the guy.
And you did it very classy.
Yeah, but still being like a little shitty, like a little bit of an asshole. Like, hey, instead of like, do you mind turning that down? It's a little. Ooh, it's sorry. It's like I was like, do you have headphones? And she said no. I'm like, so I'm glad I got to be like a little bit of a dick, because that's what that person deserved. If you're gonna be like that, I'm gonna be a little bit of a dick.
I don't even think that's a dick. That's just you not being extra.
Yeah, because it's like you've now ruined that opportunity for me.
Yeah.
If you're like, it's kind of loud and I'm next to you, I'll be like, do you mind? I'm trying to, work on these really funny jokes. I'm a comedian. God, people who are like that, I'm like.
Have you ever written on a plane before?
That's honestly, I mostly do that because I love it, because you can't do anything else.
Yeah.
No one can talk to you. No one can text you. You have no Wi-Fi unless you pay for it. I don't pay for it. Jewish. And I basically just have to either download a thing or I write. And it's actually really like, I love writing on a plane.
I just tried it. I've done it the last 2 times. And I was like, this whole time I was missing out. It's
I know.
So fun.
It's nice. It just is a nice, like, you're just in a different environment. There's nothing to do. So it's really nice to eliminate the distractions. And also, like, I especially will do it, like, going to a city to perform and, like, getting ready for your, like, all the sets. Let's say I'm featuring for a weekend and I'm like, oh, what are the sets I kind of want to do? Or, like, what are the things I want to make sure work out? Or, like, yeah, it's just, I don't know.
Because then you have a lot of motivation, too.
And then you're excited, too. You're like, oh, I'm going to a place to do a thing. Yeah, and, like, you're excited. So, yeah, if I'm not yelling at women on a flight, I'm trying to write jokes.
And that is, though, that kind of bleeds into the whole point of the podcast is moments like that where you're like, could this be a joke? Usually wieners aren't good jokes, but this is a wiener.
Mine's hilarious. No, yeah.
I think this could be something.
Maybe. Could be. I don't know.
There's always those people, and that every feeling you described throughout that, when you see a wiener, that's how I feel. So I'm sure everyone else feels that. You like the boiling starts. You're like, am I the person?
That feeling of like, oh, I'm so ready to do something, but I never do. I so rarely do. So it felt nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now that you've done it once, I think you'll do it again.
I'm gonna be a menace on flights. Oh my God, people crinkle peanuts too loud. Hey, can you shut the fuck up?
There's allergies here.
Yeah, exactly. Can you make an announcement? I'll make the announcement.
You grab it. They cheer, and then you go into a set.
Anyway, guys, you guys dating? Who's dating? Oh my God, Jesus Christ! But I'm killing somehow. Like what?
This girl's asleep on his shoulder. You're obviously a couple. When'd you meet?
Right. She's sick. Okay.
Masks, am I right?
God, flying without masks is like such a different experience.
I just did it.
Really?
Yeah.
How was it for you?
I felt like I wanted to put on a mask, but I didn't.
Yeah. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like we as humans, we get so used to it. So now we kind of forget what it was.
That's why I was like, don't do it.
Don't not wear a mask, you mean?
For me, I was like, you're fine.
Yeah. I want everyone else to wear masks and not me. That's
would be
the type
nice.
of person I am. Like, you guys are gross.
Yeah.
I'm not. You guys are gross. It's too uncomfy for me. It gets hot, but you guys should all wear it
because
you're
it's like
gross.
the sick one is the one that's supposed to wear the mask,
Exactly.
and you're obviously disgusting. So
Right. Exactly.
they're all gross.
Yeah, I'm fine.
We're fine.
This is your guys' all your guys' fault.
I didn't start this.
Did I ever give you COVID, by the way? Did you end up getting COVID?
No. Oh my gosh. She texted me and I forgot where I was going.
We were at Harvell's.
Yeah.
And I was patient 0 that night.
Luckily, I usually stay for a while, but that day I went up early and left.
Well, I think I asked you because I went up right. Because I stayed away from people because, full backstory is I was like, I had like a cold. This is what happened in my world. I had a cold and it was like day 4 of the cold. And it's like, you're like, okay, I'm probably not contagious anymore. I'm just like stuffy at this point. So I was like, if I went and did a set, I think it would be okay. I'll just stay away from people. I'll sanitize my hands. I'll be careful. And so that's what it was. And like, so I was staying away from people either way. And so when I crossed paths with you, I knew we had close contact. I get home, take a COVID test, and I had COVID. And that's why I hit you up and was like, fuck, I'm sorry. Because you were really the only person, because I did stay away from people.
Lucky me.
And I was like, fucking just, how was it? Like,
it was quick though.
it was quick. I'm glad. No, I don't think anyone got it. Thank God. You or John both didn't get it.
That's good.
I felt so bad. What an asshole I was.
There's nothing you can do.
I know.
It happens. And now people are getting it again.
Sucks. I know. I got like a month and a half ago. Wasn't fun. Had to cancel so many things. That's the worst part.
Were you going away for shows?
No, I did 2 shows at the Improv that I had to cancel same night.
That's
I was like,
just one of the biggest venues.
like,
So
sick. Yeah,
no big deal.
2 great shows. Perfect. But luckily it was okay.
It is what it is what it is.
Yes.
Well, my wiener is nothing compared to your wiener.
Duh.
So really, the only one I had this week is I went by the pool and
Bragging.
no big deal.
It's your own
And
pool, right? Your private pool.
My private pool.
Yep.
This is the problem. It's a private pool. There's a public pool at an apartment, and it's really not that nice. But a pool's a pool.
Pool's a pool. Honestly, pool's a pool.
Pool's a pool.
Yep.
The thing is, since it's a smaller pool, there's only 2 chairs.
Okay.
So I go out and I'm hungover, and I just want to just sweat it out, enjoy my weekend.
Yep.
Finally, peace and quiet. Then a girl comes out from the apartment building and talks the entire time. But the thing is, she was very nice, and I didn't hate anything she was saying.
Yeah, okay, that's important.
But would I prefer she shut the fuck up?
Yes.
But then it's like you just try to try to slowly ease out and say less, but then you feel bad. And then I hate wieners are my worst. My least favorite wiener is the nice wiener that makes me feel bad about myself because I don't want to talk to them.
Right. What would be an example of that?
Like her, it's like I don't like my next door neighbor. He's so nice.
Yeah.
Also very annoying. Always tries to talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had to put my foot down to where I had to start coming off as a bitch and just stop him because he doesn't know how to casually end a conversation.
I have a really hard time with people like that. Yeah. Who are just going and they're they're just a wall.
I'm like,
just,
this is what anxiety feels like.
Yeah. Oh, you're just trapped. You're trapped in there.
Yeah.
So going back to, because I want to address that, but going back to the woman who was on her phone. So she was like, you were trying to relax. She was being loud, but she wasn't like an asshole. Like she wasn't saying things that you were like, gee, this person sucks. She was like a nice person just
awesome.
on the phone.
No. She was trying to talk to me.
Oh.
Talking to me.
Well, that's so much worse.
So much worse.
So you can't leave.
The phone is fine.
Okay, I thought she was on the phone and she was just blabbering on and you were there hungover.
No.
Like,
I would put
just
on
wanted
my
some peace and quiet.
headphones and that would be talking to me the whole time.
How did she what was she talking to you about? How did she start it?
Oh, she started it with the best way to start it, offering a drink.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice thing to do.
I know. And it's just like talking to a guy at a bar. My mom always taught me never buy your own drink, never take the drink.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have took the drink.
Well, for two reasons. For number one, what's in it? Number two, because then you gotta. Well, I guess I should talk to you now. I guess.
Yeah, it was a canned Topo Chico.
Safe. Damn. So she said, "You want a drink?" And you're like, "Yeah."
I was like, "Oh yeah, perfect. I'm hungover."
Right, and then you're in. Once you accepted that drink, though, honestly, I think you're the wiener because you accepted the drink.
I'll take it.
And then you're friends now.
Yep.
Had you said, "You're just pretending to be asleep." Oh, sorry, I can't. You're a really deep sleeper. Well, she may think you're dead, but yeah, I have a really hard time with people. Like, oh, God, I feel like I'm getting worse with age. Where I don't want to talk to most people.
Same.
Even like my friends. Like I'm like, of course, if like we saw each other, of course I would always be happy to say what's up, check in, how are you? But man, I just like we go to like a comedy club, like I just want to like do my thing and like leave. Like if I see someone, what's up? As I'm leaving, 100%. I'm like, so I don't know what it is. Maybe it could be a COVID thing. Maybe that we're just more like socially like thought out and like how we want to be in the world. But I'm just don't want to talk to anyone, and like neighbors too. And you do the cry. It's like
I don't want that.
I'll even go as far sometimes if I've done this before, and I've never done this to you, so it's okay. If I'm at like a grocery store and I see someone I know in the grocery store, but they don't see me, I avoid them. I
do that to everyone.
Okay.
Because even if I like the person, my thought also is like grocery store, gym. Mm-hmm. I don't want to put them in that position either.
For sure.
Because who wants to talk at the grocery store or the gym? I had a friend that every time we go to the gym, I like going alone, but we went a few times and she loves going there for the social aspect.
Yeah.
And I don't ever.
Right.
There's a time and a place. I think the thing is when it comes down to that is our job takes so much energy being social.
Yeah, it's so social. That's why I don't need to do a bunch of stuff all the time, social things all the time. Because like, we're out every night basically socializing.
Yeah.
So on an off night, I'm like, I don't want to do anything.
Unwind, just quiet. Sometimes I'll just have no TV on or anything and just like sit in silence. And I'm like, this is amazing.
That's great. That's like meditating, I think.
Yeah.
In a way. I do that when I'm driving a lot. A lot of times I don't listen to anything.
Same.
I just am silent.
After a show, I'll do that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a bad show for sure. The way you said that. Yeah, after the show, I have no music, no nothing, just only me and the turn signal. Everything's great. No, if I have a good set, I'll play music.
That's so true.
Oh yeah, we just call it like the silent drive home, or like the quiet ride home. Yeah, it's the fucking. You just hear everything: the wind, the turn signal. You're like, fuck.
The best is though after a good show when you have the songs like the playlist is just hitting and you're just like,
yeah, and you're it's the best. Or yeah, oh my god, that's all we have. Those moments, fuck me.
It's the best feeling, and all I could think in those moments are someone better not call me right now.
Oh, I know.
I'm feeling this song.
I've had moments where I'll be excited in that way going to a show, and then someone will call me. Like I'm like 5 minutes. I'm like, no, I'm in my like. Ugh, and I gotta like, hey.
Exact. That's the same exact thing because most of the time my family or someone I want to answer. So them.
I know. We're good people, and this what I'm saying is maybe it's just easier to be an asshole. I think about that sometimes. If you're just an asshole, your life's probably better. But then worse on the back end because then people don't want to be with you.
I think the thing is, I'm getting so hot. I think the thing is finding the middle ground, like what you did. You said it assertively, and that. Usually, the girl at the pool, usually I'm better. Lately, I've been better at practicing on being. Our version of an asshole is not an asshole, too.
Mm-hmm. I know. So, but there's nothing you can say to that girl at the pool.
No.
There's nothing you can do. You can't be
you just have to leave the pool.
Yep, you have to leave the pool. You just have to like take the L.
Yeah.
And just be like, I lost this afternoon. Like that, she made me lose this. Because there's really no option. You can't, even if you were like, hey, I'm like really hungover right now. Like I need to like just sit here alone. Even then, it's like, okay, Jesus. It's like weird. So yeah.
Take it.
Just take the loss. Take the wiener.
Still a beautiful day.
Still a good day. Did you recover from the hangover?
One wiener, one Topo Chico.
Just a wiener and a Topo Chico.
Casual Saturday. Yeah, I did recover. It wasn't too bad. It was just like, I just wanted a second.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't drink like that anymore. I don't drink like hungover drink anymore, really.
That's good.
Very rarely. I couldn't deal with it, the hangovers. And I was like, I can't. It's too much. It's too bad. It's too painful. It's too nauseating. Like, this is never worth it.
It's a nightmare.
Ugh.
I didn't even introduce you.
Oh, yeah. whatever. It's your podcast. I'm along for the ride.
I don't think I've introduced anybody.
It's really funny. Who am I listening to? Will Burkart? Who the fuck is this guy?
This is Will Burkart.
Yep.
He's fellow comedian, killing it. He definitely has one of the best butt cracks I've ever seen.
I don't think anyone's seen it, so you're not qualified to say that. It could be really bad. I'm taking a stance. See, I'm turning into a little bit of an asshole.
Hey, that was good.
Thank you so much. I was practicing.
I was really good.
Thank you.
Because then everyone listening thinks I've seen your butt crack.
Mm-hmm. True. I don't think anyone has.
And that's how you get canceled, by showing your butt crack.
Yeah, thanks for trying to. Yeah, see, now you're an asshole too. So now we both did it.
I'm the wiener twice.
Fuck yeah.
No.
I think I won this podcast.
You totally did. All right. Bye, guys.
I get really competitive every time I do a podcast. I try to win. My girl's like, how was the podcast? Did you win? Yeah. Really nailed it with the butt crack thing she said. It really fucking worked out well.
Yeah. Well, whatever. You take it. This is what I get for putting you in a hot sweat box.
It's fine. I'm happy to be in the hot sweat box.
You dressed correctly. I didn't.
Yep.
I knew about it. These jeans feel like cement.
Yeah, if I'm not, obviously no shorts on stage.
Yeah.
But during the day, shorts all the time.
I need to get some new cotton shorts. Only one pair.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll stay on track since we're sweating our asses off.
Yeah. Let's do it.
So, Misery Loves Mandy is a mostly happy podcast.
Big fan.
Yeah.
Big fan of the podcast.
It's one of the biggest podcasts.
By the time this comes out, it'll have blown up too. So you'll be, I'm just happy. I'm happy to be here.
Oh my, I appreciate you being here. You and your butt crack.
Thank you so much.
So we talk about embarrassing, miserable moments and whether or not you made them into a joke or not.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one that you did, you thought, either right away it happened, you're like, this is definitely not going to be a joke, or when you thought and it didn't work. And then one of your jokes that you did turn into, or one of the moments that you did turn into a joke.
Now, there's two different moments or just one?
You can do, if you have one that happened and one that didn't, just loose.
Okay. One that happened, one that didn't. I just make up a whole story. I was on a camel in fucking Ghana. Wow, that's a cool story. The one that
you want.
The misery moment of Mandy that I could think of was and I never did this on stage because I never really found something funny about it, but just what actually happened was that it was the time I got kicked out of a bar. The only time I'm very well behaved. And so I never really done anything bad like that. So I was in college and I was really drunk. And we were at this bar it was the type of bar where you got let in with your normal ID, even though you're not 21. Okay. It's a bar that's fuck it. It's whatever. But it's kind of a nice bar. So you're kind of confused. You're like, okay, I'm in here, whatever. Who cares? They just don't care. And we saw this door that led down. It was pretty packed. And we saw this door that we always saw as a staircase. And the light was on, and I was kind of drunk. I was like, oh, maybe there's another bathroom down there or something. What's down there? And me and my buddy went down there, and it was the basement of the bar, and it was the entire alcohol stash of the bar.
What?
Hundreds and hundreds of bottles. We're
oh, jackpot.
Exactly. We're like, oh fuck. It was oh shit. And we were like, now what? It's what a golden opportunity for a 19-year-old when you're wasted. You're like, oh, I gotta do something, right? And so we were let's and it was in Chicago. We went to college in Chicago. Me and all my imaginary friends. No, me and at the time we were in Chicago, and we had big winter coats. And so my buddy was like, we should take a bottle. Let's take a bottle. Right? And so he stuffed a bottle in his jacket. We're like, and then we turn around and there's just a guy just watching us the whole time, meaning someone probably who worked at the bar, just watching us.
That is terrifying.
Almost in my mind, what happened is he saw us go down there and followed us and was just waiting for us to notice him. So he was just watching us steal shit.
What?
Just waiting for us to turn around to go, okay, now you're going to reap what you just sowed.
That is so scary.
And so we turn around and we see him. We're like, and I think I said something to the effect of oh, we just thought we were looking for a bathroom, and this isn't where the bathroom is. There's bottles everywhere, so we're just checking it out. Sorry, we're gonna go back upstairs. And he says, yeah, we will go back upstairs. And we walked up with him. He said, yeah, let's go upstairs. And we're like, okay, it's oops. We think oops.
No,
and
was he scary looking?
I don't not really, but he was an adult.
That's scary,
which is scary enough when you're 19 or whatever, and you just did something real bad. He grabbed both of us by our shirt collars like here and started to like almost drag us through the bar. Like, let's go outside. And he started pointing out all these different big dudes like Jeremy, Scott, Philip, let's go, like grabbing all those boys.
No.
And like dragging us outside. I'm almost kind of like laughing. I'm like, dude, it's like, I'm sorry. It's not, we're looking, sorry.
It's
we didn't think, we didn't think like, of course. Yeah. And so, and he's like throwing us outside and like, there's like parked cars on the street. It's like a busy street. And he's like pushing us against this car, like pushing us, like threatening us, being like, saying shit like, who the fuck do you work for?
What?
Like we're in a Mission Impossible movie. I'll never forget that he said that. He said like, who do you like work for? Like, who are you guys? Like, what are you doing here? And they were threatening us. We were like, we're going to beat the shit out of you. We're going to put you in the hospital. Like real threats. And we're like,
we're not who you think we are.
Yeah, no, I'm not deep undercover right now. Like, what do you think is happening? And like really threatening. He said, last time this happened to one of us, we fucking beat the shit out of this kid in an alley and he put him in the hospital and shit. We were like, oh, fuck. And I've never been in a fight in my entire life. So I'm just like, no thanks. And
oh, no.
And they were like legit threatening us. And like one of the guys, I think the guy who found us was being like held back by his buddies. Like he was like, motherfuckers, they're like holding him back. Like, don't beat him up. Don't beat him up. And we're just like, we're so scared. We're just like, oh, what do we do? So eventually they're like, all right, like we're going to fucking let you go or whatever. And like, get out of here or whatever. They're real quick. I think they were just really trying to like make us scared.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, get the fuck out of here. But what's weird is that, and they kept our IDs. They said, we're keeping your IDs. Or no, they took our wallets. They were like, give me your wallet. And we were like, okay, here. And they like took our wallets and shit.
They kept them?
Eventually they were like, they gave us our wallets back, but they kept our IDs. And what was really funny is that they were our real IDs. So I was almost like, can I have it back? Like,
I need my ID.
My ID.
They took the most important thing you need.
Yeah, and it's also like, you guys let me have my real ID. Like, wouldn't you want to give this back? Like, no, we didn't do
and if anything, you're in trouble.
Exactly. So, and they were like, nah. They were like, I think it was something to the effect of like, come back. Like, if you want to come back, and get it or something like that.
No thanks.
Right. Exactly. So, the next part's kind of fuzzy, but it wraps up in a very weird way is that I remember what happened. The manager of the bar messaged me on Facebook the next day and says, hey, I'm so-and-so. I have your ID. And would love to just like talk to you about what happened last night. If you want to come back to the bar today and get your ID. And
Did you go?
And I was like, oh fuck. And I told my buddy at the time, and I was like, dude, like, do you want to go back and get our IDs or whatever? Like, see what happened. And he was like, fuck no. And I was like, I'm going to go.
What?
So I went.
No way.
Yeah. I went back to the bar and kind of, I think more so like joking aside, I think I more just wanted to like apologize and be like, my bad. Like, I'm not some spy. The worst spy ever. Like, I don't know what you ever thought. And like, I did want my ID back because I was probably too lazy to call the DMV. So I like went back, and the manager dude was like super cool. He was this young, like cool guy. He was like, yo man, what's up, dude? Like, sorry for all the mix up. Like, I think he's like, what happened from your point of view? And I was like, I told him exactly what happened. And one of the dudes from last night was there, and he was like fucking like, staring at me, just like, this motherfucker. And I was like, yeah, I explained myself. And he was like, all right, man, you know what? He's like, no hard feelings. Like, you like tequila? And I said, what answer will not get me killed? and then he said, and then he gave me, we did a shot of tequila together. And he said, like, yeah, man, hey, cheers to you or some shit.
He should have given you a bottle of tequila.
Something. And we took a shot, and he gave me my ID back, and I left.
I like that he gave you a shot also again, seeing that you weren't 21.
Even fun. I know. I wonder if, I didn't even think about that until now. I wonder if this bar still in.
You should look it up.
I should look it up. I'm not gonna do it now. Worst fucking podcast ever. Just 30 seconds of silence. What was it spelled like? So that was a story where it never lives anywhere. Mm-hmm. But that was the thing that I always think of that story is like, that's like one of the crazier things to happen to me because I'm very careful and shit with my life. So it's like, that was like, whoa, I almost got my ass kicked.
That's a scary one.
So, yeah.
So did you ever try to make it into a joke?
Not really. I don't think I ever. Oh, you know what's? Now I'm thinking of other. Of course, now I'm thinking of other stories that I could have told.
No, I loved that one. That was a really good one.
No, not really. I'm honestly not like the biggest storyteller on stage. I don't do these long, like Tom Segura like stories.
Neither do I.
So I just never found a place for it. Yeah. So that just lives in my brain and also on this podcast.
Well, it's a perfect place for it. And it's good because it's not super embarrassing or anything. It's just a good story.
Yeah, I was a fucking hooligan,
Yeah. I couldn't think of if that happened to me. I wouldn't make it into a joke. It's just a crazy.
Yeah. Because nothing like that funny happened. It was all just like normal hooligan shit, really. Unless you embellish it and you're like, oh, and then they did this and they fucking threw me and did. But I'm just like not the type. So
Which is probably what a lot of storytellers do.
I would assume.
Because I don't know. But it is funny how usually you know right away if this is going to be a joke or not. Or it just is or it isn't.
And sometimes you'll have a story that's so crazy that it's not believable. I've had that. Well,
That's
something
true, too.
so weird and I'll try to talk about it on stage and I'll be like, they don't believe me. And I'm like, fuck, like this is real.
You feel hacky about something that's the truth.
Yeah. Like even now, I don't even feel hacky. It just feels like, it doesn't feel weird, but it's just, I know people are like, huh? Like I'm not going to give away the whole thing, but eventually there was one night where I was fucked up on some sort of substance. Nothing. I mean, it was like, whatever. It wasn't like coke. And my girl in the morning said, you were so asleep. I thought you like died. And I was like, what did you think I died from? And she says, I thought you died because your clothes were too tight.
Oh.
Because I fell asleep with my clothes on. And that's like so almost not believable because it's insane. But that's like a real thing that she said to me.
That's really funny.
Yeah. So I've worked that. That is a joke I'm working on now. But again, sometimes I say that and I wonder if people are like, fuck off. That's not real. But I'm like, no, that's a real thing she said to me. She thought I died because my clothes were too tight and I suffocated.
That's really, really funny.
That's what kind of man she thinks I am.
But that is such a moment where you hear that and you're like, I have to try this.
It's too funny.
It's so funny.
It's too funny. I was like, that's the funniest thing ever. Because on the bit, I want to do it where like I act out a whole crime scene.
Yeah.
Like the silliest crime scene ever. Like, what do we got, boys? Anyways.
His clothes is too tight. You can do the voice.
Yeah. Oh, I do the whole thing.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
I'll do it. I do it Harvell's and stuff. So if you're ever there.
Okay.
But anyways.
That's great. That's a good moment that turned into something.
Yeah. So, yeah, so that was, and then, yeah, for the second part. So, I mean, another thing of that turned into a bit. I mean, I say like the second part of what's like a story that has turned into a bit.
Yeah.
I have one where I'm not gonna do the joke, but it's about a really bad show I did where I opened for a band. And again, I want to give it away, but it's basically a woman in the crowd is like, oh, like you're doing comedy? Oh, fuck. Like, what a mess.
Yeah.
And so that was a joke that turned into a joke with this woman's being like, oh, ooh, comedy? Oh, shit. But I remembered that something happened to me recently, which is in the same vein of like a bad show, is I did a show for all Mormons.
That is a nightmare.
No. It was a
Mormon.
Mormon singles mixer.
How long did you have to do?
It was luckily there was like 5 or 6 of us, so
Okay.
I only had to do like 15, I think. But
Probably the longest 15 ever.
I had to do it twice. I had to do 2 sets, and the audience was like rotate. It was in a classroom. It was like on a rotating audience of people, and so like the second time I went up, it was a different group of people basically. And so obviously for Mormons, you got to be like clean, like
as clean as clean can be.
As clean as you possibly can be. And I met the guy before who was he's a bishop. He's like the guy who's running the event is a bishop. Coolest bishop, by the way. He had like a fucking Tommy Bahama shirt and he was rolling around on a Razor scooter.
What?
I was like, this dude was loosey goosey. I love it. He was so cool. And when he met me, he was just basically like, we pulled up and he was like,
Any wheelies?
and he said, he was like, yeah, no swearing, no GDs. Which means goddamn. He said no GDs, no.
I've never heard GDs before.
Because I guess he can't say God damn it, so you can't be like, don't say God damn it. Oh, I'm sorry. He just says GD, and you can't be like no genitalia, no like. And I was like, yeah, you sure? Okay.
It's like maybe later.
yeah, exactly. Depending on how it goes. So I have this joke that I do that I normally, especially on like the road or like good shows, I usually open with it. Where it's but in the joke, I say the word bitch. I basically say like it's about a pilot. The most important part is there's a part where he says, "Oh, there may be a little bit of turbulence, but you'll be fine unless you're a little bitch."
Okay,
right? That's like a part of the joke, and it's an important part of it, and it gets a big laugh. So I was like, I don't want to leave that out of the joke. So what word? Because I just want to do that joke because it's a clean joke. I just got to replace the word bitch.
One word.
Just bitch. I got to replace bitch, but I still want to like hit. And I was trying to think of the word. I was like, what word could I say? I was like wussy. Like, I don't know. What would you say? You had to clean up bitch.
First of all, I love calling people a little bitch.
it's such a funny word. It's just it's like the B hits hard. It's like it just is like it's just like a punchline.
And it's such a clear person,
right?
Saying someone's a little bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you said wussy.
Well, I mean, like that's what would you think? Like
that's what I'm trying to think.
It's hard.
Pussy.
Right. Right. It's hard. It's like what are you gonna say?
Know.
Right. It's like
nothing's coming to me.
Hindsight would have been great is like dork.
Okay.
Like nerd, because it's like dork or like
has
something.
A hard K.
Yeah, or just something like that.
What did you say?
I fucking said pussy.
That no.
I said in front of 50 Mormons. I looked at all of them and said, pussy.
Do you have a tape of your face saying that?
No, I wish I did. I have a picture of the show. Okay. I can send you the picture of the show. What makes it even better is that there was 2 pictures of Jesus on the wall side by side with me. And there was even, and a girl even pointed out in the crowd, she said, and I said, I think I even said like strip club at one point, like in reference to a joke. And they were laughing like for a while after, almost like uncomfortable laughter. And I said, what are you laughing at? She says, oh, it's just that you're in a Jesus sandwich right now because of the pictures. I was in between Jesus. So with that
funny.
Knowledge, I still was like, pussy. And
what did you do
afterwards? It was, I mean, for like, maybe 3 seconds, 5 seconds, you would have thought that I showed my penis to the crowd. It was like the air got sucked out of the room. And I thankfully, I had the last line of the joke is something very silly and clean. And it's like, oh, that's like everyone's reaction, everyone's claps. So I did it. And luckily everyone laughed at that part. So it almost like negated the silence into like, oh, the end of the joke. Funny. Ha ha ha. But man, and I ended my set with that joke.
I was going to ask when it was.
I ended it. Normally I do it at the beginning. I did it at the end because I was like, going to close strong with the pussy joke. And yeah, then I got on stage and people were like, whoa. It was almost like fucking like it was some crazy raunchy comic was on stage. People were like, what was that? That was crazy. What an experience that was. And it was gnarly. And luckily, well, the whole thing was, it was a really high stakes show because if they catch wind that people are being too dirty, it's inappropriate, they could shut it down. They can shut the show down. The bishop could pull up on a scooter, do the thing where you kick it out and it goes like that. And he was going to be like, we're done here.
Jeez, you don't want a mad bishop.
So, of course, I'm thinking pussy boy over here really ruined the opportunity for everyone else. Fucking Kazim was on the show. I don't know if you know Kazim or like people like that. It was just like, luckily no one said anything. But even audience members who saw me after were like, that was hilarious. They were like, we know you said that. The audience was totally cool. The audience was like, the comics treated it worse than the audience. The comics were like, oh shit.
Because they knew.
Yeah, they were like, what are you? They were like laughing. Like, what are you doing, dude? I was like, I thought it was okay.
The best part was the bitch isn't even that bad.
Pussy's worse.
Pussy is so much worse than little bitch.
I know. It was so bad. The fact that I thought that was better, I mean, such an idiot. But the audience was just like, they were totally cool with it. They were like, oh man, we loved it, man. It was crazy. But
I've never heard that word before.
Yeah, it was that. It was like, ooh, we're being bad today. Like, you're so fun. It was that. So it worked out totally fine. The bishop tried to pay me twice, which was hilarious. I had to be honest. I'd be like, look, man, Father, you paid me already. You can't. This is a sin if I accept money.
That's nice of you. That would have been some bad karma.
Big time bad karma.
At least they still paid you and didn't say anything about
Nothing
the pussy.
I got asked back, actually. They hit me up for another event.
That's great. Did you do it?
I don't think I'm going to do it. I think I've had enough Mormon. I'm like, it's like a Saturday night. So I'm like, I'd rather try to get like a better It's like, all right. It's like, how bad do we need $75? You know, it's like, all right, maybe I could not do Mormons. But who knows? Maybe I'll become the Mormon comedian.
Who knows? People who find their little niches really support them.
God, I get on stage. Hey, those Mormons are kind of pussies, huh?
So wait, have you said this on stage as a joke? Have you told this story?
No, I haven't.
It's really funny.
Really? Maybe I should.
I think it's really funny.
Maybe I should. Yeah, I haven't ever. No, I just thought about it because I have a joke about a bad show. And so maybe that can parlay that into it.
It's great.
So, yeah.
It's just like when you're hosting and a comic will say their name and then you'll make a joke of like, oh, like it's like this. And you're like, oh, I got it. And then you go up and your anxiety's just like, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. I just completely butcher it because I just get nervous that I will. So then I will.
Yep, I've had that. I had that also, like when I first started trying to do like crowd work. Sometimes I would like talk way too fast or my brain would get ahead of my mouth, and so I'd be like so excited about something I'm about to say. I'd be like, yeah, what's up? Wait, sorry, you're in the car, and it was like just slow down. But anyways,
Man, well, that's great. Both of those stories are really, really interesting.
good. Oh, cool. Okay, good.
I wish the first one could be a joke, but it's just too real. It's like
It's too real. It's not like that funny. It's more just like, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
no, it just reminds of like any younger story when you were just drunk or just being silly. Like I'm just happy that you're not that age and doing that anymore.
I know,
is really
right?
all it
Exactly.
comes down to.
I know. That's exactly how I'm feeling.
Well, I want you to do the second one, and I'll hear it at Harvell
Maybe I should.
soon.
Yeah, maybe I will do the Mormon thing.
Do it.
Yeah, well.
I think we've sweat enough. What do you think?
You're the captain. You tell me.
I think that
Or is the squirrel could be the captain? I don't know. Should we ask his opinion?
Yeah. Excuse me, squirrel.
Sir.
Sir.
And he's just like, oh, these people, I can't believe people are talking to me right now. I'm so hungover.
If I just stare at the wall, yeah.
I'm not here.
Hey, you pussy.
Nice.
Have we sweat enough? Have we sweat? We don't even know if the audio's working here.
It's fine. We don't even know if we're recording. We're just glistening in a little room.
Don't judge my oily face, anyone watching this. And if you're not watching it, what the hell?
Judge mine, though. I don't give a shit. Come for me.
What the hell?
Judge me.
He's a changed person since this plane ride. Try him.
Try me.
Try him.
I'm an asshole now.
He's
I'll
called
go-
me a wiener twice.
I'll go right at you.
He's wearing shorts like a boss.
Yup. Because it's hot.
Yep. Well, I've made some mistakes today.
Hey, we all have, you know? Mormon or not, we've made some mistakes.
But we did it. Well, thank you for doing this. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. This was fun.
Well, butt crack, everybody.
Boom.
Find him is it at Will Butt Crack?
Yeah.
Or is there like a number?
Well, it's actually Burkart, but yeah. People just find me that. I'll be so bad if I had a number.
I almost made it through another podcast without saying someone's. I was going to just keep doing it.
Do it. I don't give a shit.
No. I really should start saying people's names. I really don't think I've said anyone's.
That's almost a funnier hook because you just never say anyone's name. They'll see it on the title. Who gives a shit? Yeah, it's fine. But yes, I got my Instagram. I have no underscores. I have no numbers.
I got
The
mine
real
too.
so-and-so. No, it's just me.
You know, the
It's just my
sad
name.
thing is, did you get your TikTok?
Oh, yeah.
I had my TikTok, and then my TikTok got banned. No warning, no anything.
Fully banned?
Fully banned.
Nothing. Not
Nothing.
even.
No warning.
Jesus.
Nothing. And now they won't. So I made It's Mandy Martino, the embarrassing.
Yeah. I mean, you had to.
I didn't have
You
a
had
choice.
to.
But it's been a year and a half now, and I keep trying to change my name back. I'm like, and they're holding on to it.
Wow.
No one can be at Mandy Martino.
It's like
on
she's
TikTok.
gone.
She's in trouble.
gone.
Where did they
Where is
take
she?
her?
Where is she?
That's what I want to know.
Wow. But maybe,
So-
I don't know. Now it's a new you. You know?
It's Mandy Martino.
Not as devious as before, not as dicey before.
What are you gonna do?
Hey,
It's
you know,
fine.
it's
TikTok
just-
sucks, anyways.
It's all a sham.
If my
Follow me on
Instagram,
TikTok
though,
at
his videos are killing it. He has some great clips, and you should watch them. What do you
Yeah.
think you call them for stand up? They're stand up clips, right?
Yeah, clips. I don't know why my voice went so high when I said that, but yeah, clips.
Clips.
They're clips.
Someone, I don't call them ever bits. I said it bits because my friend said bits, and I was like, that sounds good, but like stand up bits, I've never called it bits before.
I've called it bits in real life.
Okay.
Like all the
It's
work
a
on
good
some
bit.
bits. Yeah, it's a good bit,
Yeah.
but not like video. Video season. Like,
No, he was talking about bits.
Oh
bits.
no, I like bits.
But I like bits, but I've never said bits. I never thought bits.
I say bits. What do you say? Jokes?
I guess jokes.
Yeah, bits.
Or, oh no, I say I'm working on a concept, or this is a joke.
Ooh. Sounds like you're writing a storyboard for a fucking David Fincher movie.
So we have squirrel suits. The concept is classy and sophisticated.
The concept.
Well, for now on, I'm saying bits. Thank you guys. Bye.
Yeah.